Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their finance and giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The Credit Union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. In the headlines, MNIB chairman says current shortage of sugar may continue for a while.
Predia Larceny hotline launched.
Prime Minister attends CARICOM heads of government meeting in Barbados.
Plus, coming up in the sports news, MNN Hardware scores mammoth total in the GCIC Intersector Cricket Tournament. Do stay with us. We'll be back with the details.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
This is news at 7. Good evening, I'm Ken Roy Batiste.
And I'm Beverly Telesford. A recent international report says the world is running short of sugar and prices are rising. This is quickly becoming a reality for people in Grenada as consumers on the weekend saw empty shelves where sugar was supposed to be. Cherry and Blackman Stephen tells us the reason behind this.
The world's top sugar traders forecast a global shortage of the commodity. According to Time.com, global sugar prices have surged about 12% this year for the best start of a year in a decade, as a drought cut shipments from Thailand, the world's #2 exporter. Less production from the European Union, Brazil turned more of its cane crop into ethanol, and freezing weather wrecked crops in North America. The Marketing and National Importing Board, the MNIB, is warning that a critical sugar situation is looming. In an exclusive interview on Tuesday with Chairman of the Marketing and National Importing Board, Christopher Diali, said it may be a while before brown sugar will be on the supermarket shelves.
At current, Marketing Board is supposed to have a shipment of white sugar that is should be on the port today and will be available. We have 2,500 bags of white sugar coming in, and that will be available probably by tomorrow to customers. The critical issue for us is brown sugar. We have not had brown sugar probably for the last couple of weeks, and the situation going forward is going to be even a little more dire. So we want to take this opportunity to upgrade and inform the public what is happening with brown sugar in particular. Brown sugar normally is our higher consumption in terms of sugar in Grenada. And we have had a situation, and we are going to be in a situation where there is going to be a shortage of brown sugar on the world market.
Dialli said the need for brown sugar is pulling larger demands from countries like the United States of America.
You're seeing increased demands from countries like Thailand and the US, and our regional producers like Gaisuco and so on are now channeling all their production to those markets because of better pricing, and they're getting better pricing for their sugar per ton. So a lot of us who in the region would have bought sugar from them have none available to us now, and we are in a shortage situation.
The MNIB chairman said that while they seek brown sugar from other countries, consumers must be prepared for higher prices. He explained that sugar imported from regional countries does not attract the Common External Tariff, or the CET, due to CARICOM arrangement, but if it must be sought outside CARICOM, it will attract the CET. He said they are presently looking towards Brazil for a shipment of brown sugar. Acting manager of the Marketing and National Importing Board, Elvis Young, said the MNIB will try to stabilize the price.
Once there isn't a significant increase, we would be able to absorb that increase and maintain the current price level. So we hope that is the case, because as Marketing Board, that's one of our basic function, to create stability in the price.
The MNIB said they are working to ensure the present lull on the market will not be prolonged. Cherian Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, the MNIB chairman, Senator Christopher Dialli, says the state-owned company is working toward financial stability.
We have had challenges. We continue to have challenges. We're not totally out of the woods yet. We're getting out of this slowly. We have been able to make a number of changes and adjustments within the organization to cut costs and improve revenues where we can. So it is a process. It is a one that is being worked on as we speak, and we are expecting that probably as we continue to work on this, we will get the stability that we.
The MNIB started a number of secondary products it was considering for retail. However, due to previous financial issues and a pending court matter, the chairman says this is now on hold. Acting manager of the MNIB, Elvis Young, says the immediate focus is on fresh produce, capitalizing on government's ban on sodas in schools.
Bag juices continued. That opportunity we have for the schools, we will be taking advantage of that and expanding the production where the students could have the small bag juices as an alternative to the sodas that the ministry is trying to get rid of. So yes, we continue to push production in that area. Another viable area for us is the production of fruit bowls, which again comes naturally with what we do.
Now on Tuesday, the Ministry of Agriculture, through a collaborative initiative with the Royal Grenada Police Force, launched a perennial larceny hotline in a bid to curb the 8.7% increase in perennial larceny cases across the island. Akeisha Felix has more.
Statistics obtained by the Royal Grenada Police Force shows an increase in the number of perennial larceny cases by 8.7% between 2018 to 2019. As a result, both the Ministry of Agriculture and the RGPF have decided to be more proactive in their approach in dealing with the theft of agricultural produce and livestock. In keeping with the 2020 budget presentation, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said more emphasis will be placed on combating the issue of perennial larceny within the first quarter of the year, with the establishment of a perennial larceny hotline and amendments to the Perennial Larceny Act. Minister for Agriculture Yolan Bain Hosford said the hotline will be maintained and operated by members of the RGPF.
The Perennial Larceny hotline number 435-0300 has been assigned, and the short code is 300. The Royal Grenada Police Force will be responsible for the operationalization and maintenance of the hotline.
Meanwhile, Assistant Commissioner ASP Francois says his team is confident in this new venture to help curb the issue of perennial larceny due to the success of other hotlines made available to the public.
The 911 only accepts call inwards, so someone is going to answer that line at any time it's given. So we expect to operate the 300 line in the same fashion, and it would give our farmers an opportunity to report in a timely manner incidents that might be taking place on their farms in various areas of the country and receive a response in a timely manner. So this 300 hotline is another addition that farmers can use, and we would be able to follow this report from the time it was reported and have some explanation as to where the report, what would have happened to the report, etc.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture, additional transportation will be made available to successfully execute the purpose and intent of the Pretty Larceny hotline. Akeisha Felix for GBN News.
Meanwhile, Minister for Agriculture Yolan Bain-Hosford says the ministry will embark on a number of community outreach and sensitization programs on pretty larceny in an effort to educate the public on this growing concern.
That the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands will commence a rigorous public awareness and education campaign, having recognized the need to have greater public participation in the fight against pretty larceny. Please note that the ministry has reenacted its internal organs and the multi-stakeholders pretty larceny body, introduced the use of cameras, and will erect billboards in strategic locations throughout the state following today's launch.
We take a break, but still ahead, charges of attempted non-capital murder handed down on 2 men.
And Prime Minister Mitchell meets with the Caribbean Congress of Labour. Stay with us.
Use clay, it washing cleaner than ever. Oh mama, oi, oh mama, oi, in every household must have it, oi, highly effective. Stain removal, lemon freshness, antibacterial washing powder, fresh and clean, fresh and clean. When I put on me clothes, me must win. When I wash me clothes, no other detergent could ever wash me clothes like this.
Now buy 3 bottles of Place dishwashing liquid for only $8. Available at Best for Less Supermarket, Eat Fresh Supermarket, M&C Jones Supermarket, Home Pride Supermarket, The Food Fairs, Carenage and Grandance, Roberts Enterprise, Springs Food Mart, and Charlo Supermarket.
Other Place products available: hand sanitizer, fabric softener, hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and toilet cleaners. Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe St. George.
Inspection and licensing continue. And at Hubbard's, we want you to be ready. From February 16th to March 31st, we're offering vehicle owners with single registration letters 2,501 to 5,000 and plural letters from 251 to 500. It's your turn to get 11% off new Torque tires and Power Max batteries. Don't get caught unprepared. Visit us today at our motor department at Mountgate and the Tire Bay in Grandance, located next to the Hubbard's Building Supplies.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 350 local anywhere calls and texts. With the always-on prepaid plans, all for $25. Keep your number when you switch to Grenada's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
My name is Ed Southgate. I'm from Westech Building Products in Calgary, Canada. We supply St. Louis UPVC windows with a North Americanized European window system, as well as a slider system that's for residential homes. The commercial system is good for hotels, hospitals, any commercial buildings, as well as high-end homes. Our products are all tested to an AMA standard, which is the North America standard for windows and doors. Our PVC also has 10 parts TiO2, which is high in the industry, that we feel gives it the longevity that he requires because of the harsh climate that you guys are in for sun and wind and rain. Westech Building Products has partnered with Mohammed from St. Louis UPVC to offer him one of the higher end products that are available in the marketplace. This is my second visit here, and we check the quality of the product and the way their processes are to ensure they follow the standards that we set when we first came here over just almost a year ago. And I think that with that quality, you can be assured you'll have the performance components in the windows that you're looking for your homes or businesses that are available now right here on the island.
Kayak Mass 2020. February 15th to February 25th. An array of events making one spectacular carnival. Saturday, February 15th. Children Mass, Frolic, and the Big Show. Thursday, February 20th. Queen Show Night. February 21st. Soca Monarch. Saturday, 22nd. Chab Convention. Calypso and Groovy. Sunday, February 23rd. Monday, Juve and Monday Night Mass. Tuesday, February 25th. Shakespeare Mass and the Last Lap. All the major MCs and DJs will be inside Kayak Mass 2020. Make reservations and book now. On Saturday, 22nd February, the entire nation will head to, and all eyes will be on the 22nd KFC National Relay Meet, the Randy James Athletic Stadium from 1:30 p.m. The fastest athletes, flawless, breathtaking. All the hard work and training comes down to this moment. Relays of all sorts, 100s, 200s, 400s, 2x1x4, just to name a few. And for the very first time, mixed relays. Tickets cost $25 main stand. East stand costs $20 adults. Children under 12 pay $15. Bleachers, adults pay $15. Children pay $10. Tickets at all KFC outlets. Granby Street, Melville Street, Grandance, and in Granville. The 22nd KFC National Relay Meet, February 22nd, 2020. The Randy James Athletic Stadium. Come witness poetry in motion.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
A stabbing incident on the weekend left one man hospitalized with multiple wounds and another charged with attempted non-capital murder. Desmond Cato, 25, of Mount Craven St. Patrick, is believed to have been involved in an altercation with a 50-year-old male resident of the same area. The incident is said to have occurred at about 7 p.m. last Saturday. The victim sustained injuries to his head as well as back and left arm and remains warded at the General Hospital. Cato made his first court appearance on Monday and has been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until his next court hearing in March.
Meanwhile, after being on the run from police for the last 3 weeks, Trent Charles of Vandam St. George has turned himself in. Charles was of interest to the RGPF following a shooting incident on Four Roads, St. George. 3 charges were laid against Charles, including attempted non-capital murder and illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Charles, who made his first court appearance on Monday, was remanded to Her Majesty's prisons.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and Labour Minister Peter David met Friday with executive members of the Caribbean Congress of Labour who were in Grenada for a meeting of the regional organization. We get more in this report.
In welcoming the team, headed by President Andre Lewis of Grenada, Dr. Mitchell underscored the importance of the labor movement and of working together. He noted that the current chair of the Caribbean community, Mia Motley of Barbados, shares that opinion, hence the invitation to labor representatives to attend the intersessional meeting in Barbados this week. Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "In the new global community, unless we work together, we will not survive. We need to unify our efforts, businesses, governments and labor, to meet the fundamental challenges we face today. The government of Grenada looks forward to continued cooperation as we go forward," unquote. Andre Lewis, who was elected president of the CCL last November, said the organization also favors a collaborative approach and welcomed the opportunity to work with Caribbean leaders. He said the CCL also believes the tripartite approach is necessary. The Prime Minister also raised the issue of productivity, which he said needs to be addressed. He said, and again I quote, "For unions, it should not be only about how much money you can negotiate for workers, but also about productivity. And for businesses, it's not just about making money for partners or shareholders, but also about keeping staff happy so that they are encouraged to work," unquote. The CCL executive members noted that productivity must be looked at in all its dimensions. The subject of a possible government subvention for the CCL was discussed. Dr. Mitchell, who's also the Minister of Finance, said government will be willing to support efforts by the regional trade union umbrella body, especially as it endeavors to empower its membership. This drive to empower has already started through the CCL's partnership with Cipriani College of Labour and Cooperative Studies in Trinidad and Tobago. The Grenada Trades Union Council is planning a one-week training session in leadership for its affiliates. Dr. Mitchell also suggested that the trade unions get involved in business ventures that can benefit their members over time. Some unions in Trinidad and Tobago and Dominica are already engaged in such activities. Dr. Mitchell suggested that this approach be encouraged in other countries, including Grenada. Tony Julian, GBN News.
Other news, Grenada is among 4 countries from the Eastern Caribbean that will benefit from the World Bank's 19th cycle of International Development Association. This was announced today by Minister for Climate Resilience and the Environment, Senator Simon Steele, at government's post-cabinet briefing. Rena Pear has more.
The World Bank starts a new funding cycle in which Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines will benefit from $350 million under the IDA 19 resources from July 2020 to June 2023. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. Keith Mitchell and Minister for Climate Resilience and the Environment Senator Simon Steele were among government representatives from the Eastern Caribbean attending the World Bank's International Development Association's IDA high-level meeting in Miami last weekend to discuss strategic priorities in preparation for the utilization of the cycle. Senator Simon Steele in Tuesday's press briefing spoke of the funds and how it would be paid back.
And these are effectively grant and highly concessional loans to support our development programs. And when I say highly concessional, the interest rate is less than 1%, somewhere in the region of 0.75%, a 10-year grace period on repayments, and a repayment period of 40 years. So this is as close to grant resources as you'll get.
The minister says Grenada also received its final financial quota from the IDA 18th cycle 2018 to 2020.
We've just received our final disbursement of that 74 million window, and that final disbursement is $20 million.
The minister says the money received will be used to develop programs that will trickle down to communities.
So whether that is healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's youth, the program Minister Lewis will speak to us about, whether it is agriculture and the programs that will be presented in the following session, speaking of predial larceny, whether it's in the areas of tourism, infrastructure development, works, these resources will be used to support our programs to the end of this year.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Still to come, food badges for vendors in Carriacou for Kayak Mass 2020. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load. With tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Grenada, all you think all you mad? You think you mad, we mad too. We madder than you.
Get ready for the maddest bingo ever as Megaforce Promotions presents the massive March Madness Bingo. Sunday, March 1st from 5 p.m. It's gonna be pure madness at the National Stadium because you can win 2 mint condition Toyota RAV4s.
Megaforce giving away RAV4 just so.
But wait, that's not all. You can also win $35,000 in cash.
No, that is real madness.
Tickets are only $60 for one, $100 for two. Remember, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance to drive away in a RAV4 and $35,000 in cash at the massive Megaforce March Madness Bingo. Brought to you by Carol Glenell, GoToFed.com, Mikey Lai, and Waggy T Rentals and Sound Company.
You think you're mad, we mad too. We madder than you. Use clay. It washing cleaner than ever. Oh mama, oi. Oh mama, oi. In every household, must have it, oi. Highly effective. Stain removal, lemon freshness. Antibacterial washing powder. Fresh and clean. When I put on me clothes, we must win. When I wash me clothes, no other detergent could ever wash me clothes like this.
Now buy 3 bottles of Clay's dishwashing liquid for only $8. Available at Best for Less Supermarket, Eat Fresh Supermarket, MNC Joe Supermarket, Hope Pride Supermarket, The Food Fairs, Carenage and Grandance, Roberts Enterprise, Springs Food Mart, and Charlo Supermarket.
Other Clay's products available: hand sanitizer, fabric softener, hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and toilet cleaners. Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe St. George.
Make that switch to the communal. Take the freedom, take the switch. 2020 is the time. Take the option, pay nothing down. Make the move you finally found. Make that move right now, baby. Lower interest, greater gain. Switch 2020 eases pain. Members standing with each other. Help each other win again. Make that move right now, baby. Move your loan and you to CCCU. Call us at 440-1755 for details.
Offer extended until the end of February 2020.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 70 channels and 12 in HD. All for $200 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Welcome back. The Sister Isle is heating up as Kayak Mass 2020 is well underway. With major carnival events starting this week, final preparations are being made by the stakeholders involved in the festivities, including food handlers.
The Ministry of Health has been conducting food handlers training programs throughout Grenada and Carriacou. During the month of July, a comprehensive 9-module training program was held for food handlers and people desirous of entering the service. Andre Worm, Chief Environmental Health Officer in the Ministry of Health, explains how the training programs benefit Kayak Mass 2020.
Carriacou in particular, they have been part of the program for many years, and what I can tell you is Carriacou in 2018, 34 persons received training in food handling and safe preparation, etc. Now they were issued with food badges. The badges has a duration of 1 year. So that badge is currently in force. That badge is currently still viable and workable for the event, for the current carnival event.
Worm says the protocol remains the same as previous years for obtaining food badges for vendors wishing to have food stalls during the festivities.
In the new food safety legislation, the Food Safety Act of 2015, there is a criteria for persons who would engage in street food vending that they should have a permit. Now, we have been utilizing the issuance of a food badge as a sort of permit for those events. So while the basic medical certificate gives you the authority in law to sell food, we still move to the higher level of where you would engage in street food vending, that you now can be certified as a person to engage in that kind of activity, and you would be issued with a permit that would last for 1 year.
Patrons are also reminded to look for food badges when purchasing from roadside vendors during the festivities. Tony Julian, GBN News.
This one to report crime-fighting equipment has been presented to the Royal Grenada Police Force. The donation forms part of the Regional Security Systems 10th European Development Fund project. A special ceremony was held on Tuesday at the Special Services Unit at Camp Saline to hand over the equipment. Christina John attended and has this report.
Cameras, protective clothing, gloves, and photographic equipment are just some of the equipment received by the Royal Grenada Police Force towards crime fighting. This was part of a joint effort between the European Union and the Regional Security System 10th EDF project. The equipment, valued at approximately 100,000 EC dollars, is said to be of international standards. Graham Archer, Deputy Executive Director of the Regional Security System, says the equipment will contribute to a more effective service delivery.
We acknowledge the value of forensic evidence in prosecution and defense of criminal cases. In order to realize the full value of forensic evidence in case solvency rates in the RCS sub-region, we believe that basic procedures in preservation of evidence are critical. It is with this in mind that today we proudly hand over equipment that we are sure will facilitate improved evidence collection by law enforcement officers for onward processing by forensic units in the respective member states.
To the officers who will be utilizing this equipment, Mr. Archer left these words.
Words of Herbert MacDonald, a famed researcher in the field of forensic science. Physical evidence cannot be intimidated. I repeat that. Physical evidence cannot be intimidated. It does not forget. It sits there and waits to be detected, preserved, evaluated, and explained. To the law enforcement practitioners, you now have been given some of the tools to detect, preserve, evaluate, and explain that evidence. I trust that you will use this equipment wisely and to the best of your abilities.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Franklin Redhead says crime and violence are developmental issues. An elevated level of crime affects citizens in the short term and in the long term economic growth and social development. Deputy Commissioner Redhead promised that the RGPF will continue to do its part towards the reduction of crime. He acknowledged the efforts of the regional security system and other contributors.
It is in this context I want to recognize the very important intervention by the European Union through the 10th EDF Fund for enhancing RGPF forensic capabilities, critically important at this juncture. Further, I want to recognize the ongoing efforts of the regional security system in coordinating and negotiating support from member states. It is certainly for negotiating support from member states. This is highly appreciated in light of the extant resource constraints. It is heartening to note that the RSS, rooted in the notion of collectivism many years ago, continues to evolve and adapt to the needs of member states and remains a relevant and pragmatic sub-regional mechanism.
Other RSS member states are also beneficiaries of a 200,000 euros worth of crime scene investigative equipment secured by the RSS. The theme for this presentation was strengthening law enforcement and border security. Christina John, GBN News.
Regional leaders opened the 31st intersessional meeting of the conference in Barbados earlier today. Community governance, a fixed single CARICOM roaming rate, and a unified regional approach were among the key highlights of Chair of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, Mia Amour-Motley, in her opening address. On the issue of community governance, the chair noted that some self-examination was in order.
The CARICOM Secretariat, which keeps us together, is now functioning with 30 million Eastern Caribbean dollars less than it did 10 years ago. The CARICOM Secretariat is now functioning with less than 40 people less than it did 30 years ago. But we demand more of them against the challenges that I identified at the outset of my speech. And we therefore need to ask ourselves whether we have the appropriate governance and funding models to ensure the sustainability of this family movement that is so vital to our being able to bring prosperity to our citizens.
Prime Minister Motley suggested a review of the 2003 Rose Hall Declaration and the entire issue of community governance with a view to finding a modality that will allow for more effective implementation of heads' decisions, particularly those relating to the CARICOM single market and economy.
Summon the will within us to ask Prime Minister Gonzalez to dust off the papers and the technical working groups and to come once again to us with a modality that can allow a more effective implementation of the decisions of heads of government, particularly as it relates to the CARICOM single market and single economy.
Alrighty, time now for this evening's GBN Eyesore. Compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
Tonight's Eyesore features dolphins swimming in Grenadian waters, captured on video by a Guave fisherman. You can send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Rechanging the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
After the break, Youth Parliament to be held in March to coincide with Commonwealth Day. Stay with us.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, Daisy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from Housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
As the world prepares for the 2020 Summer Olympics, some of the world's top athletes will begin their journey to Tokyo, right here in Grenada.
Everything comes down to this moment.
The 4th annual Grenada Invitational takes place on Saturday, April 4th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. World-class athletes.
From an athlete's perspective, I understand and value the experience that an athlete has when they come to a place like Grenada.
World-class event.
Because it feels safe. It feels warm.
World-class venue.
It's beautiful. You've got a stadium right by the sea.
Grenada Invitational, Saturday, April 4th. Tickets to the Grenada Invitational are now available online at gotofed.com.
And so it begins. A journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. Comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Esplanade Mall St. George's, Maurice Bishop International Airport, and Sandals Grenada Resort. Telephone number 230-1023.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
We all want a home that matches our way of life. But it's not just about building or buying a dream home or purchasing land with the most breathtaking view. It's about finding the bank that would make you feel at home. A Home Easy Loan from Republic is your best choice. It's more than a mortgage, it's peace of mind.
Visit any of our 6 branches. Submit your application forms on our website or talk to us on Facebook. Experience peace of mind today. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. The first seating of Youth Parliament will be held in the month of March in observance of Commonwealth Day 2020. This was announced by Minister with Responsibility for Youth Development, Kate Lewis. We hear more in this Rena Pair report.
Delivering a common future, connecting, innovating and transforming is the 2020 theme in celebrating Commonwealth Day on March 9th. In recognition of the day, the Ministry of Youth, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the British High Commission, will commence the first seating of the National Youth Parliament at the House of Parliament in Mount Weldon. Minister with responsibility for youth development, Kate Lewis, outlined the day's event.
There will be a short ceremony to start off the National Youth Parliament, the first sitting that is, and there will be different messages, including a message from the Queen. Already our participants are in training. Everything is going smooth, and we expect that we will have a successful first sitting of the National Youth Parliament. We have invited students from both primary and secondary school, as well as our young people throughout Grenada.
Minister Lewis spoke of the resolution for the sitting and why it was chosen.
Be it resolved that the National Youth Parliament of Grenada endorses Non-Biodegradable Waste Control Act 2018 as an effective means of regulating the use of such products, thereby reducing the negative impact of the inevitable disposal of single-use plastics, styrofoam, and other non-biodegradable products. We have selected this resolution because we wanted our young people to be involved in the climate change process, and that is why this resolution was selected.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Coming up, your latest weather forecast and sports with Tony Julian.
It's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. The festive season is over, so let's start 2020 looking and feeling like a boss with our many body cleansing options. Purchase detox products as low as $50. Purchase detox combo packs as low as $100. Receive 10% off on all in-house colonic irrigation treatment. Take control of your health now. Don't delay. Call us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. We are located in Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. These offers are valid from January to March or while stocks last. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. Detox your way to health.
My name is Hollis Map, aka Mr. Killer. Why should I drink any other rum than Clark's Court rum, when Clark's Court is the rum that supports my community, my culture, my country? A long time ago, my ancestors used to work in the cane fields. Today, we own the rum, Clark's Court rum, Grenada's #1 rum. But my people, if you drink, don't drive. When you drink, drink responsibly. And if you're under 18, don't drink at all. Clark's Court rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Grenada, 1795. One man with a sense of destiny.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise. Julian Fedor, a Heritage Theatre production, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs, 28th and 29th March, 4th and 5th April at the Trade Center.
People was not made to live like this. It's like we have a cause.
Julian Fedor, an action-packed historical drama.
I see blood falling from the sky, filling up that mountain river, flowing from Belvedere Hills. I see blood.
4 big nights of theater, the play the nation has been waiting to see, with Samuel Gilvey, Lisa Grappy James, Robert White, Dale Devine, and other top-of-the-line acting talents. Opening Saturday, 28th March. Get your tickets now.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Hello again. Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy, becoming occasionally cloudy at times, with isolated to scattered showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 22.5 degrees Celsius. Wind east-northeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough. Waves up to 9 feet in northerly to northeasterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tides low at 7 p.m., high at 12:15 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:29. The weather on Wednesday, the 19th day of February, partly cloudy and hazy with isolated showers. On Thursday, the 20th of February, partly cloudy and hazy with isolated showers during the morning. Overnight cloudiness is expected to increase with scattered showers. And on Friday, the 21st, generally fair and hazy, becoming partly cloudy at times with isolated nighttime showers. You're watching the news. Stay with us for the sports news now.
And this time round, sporting fans, M&N Hardware, with a mammoth total of 240 runs, thrashed Hubbard Sports Club in the GCIC Inter-Sector Cricket Tournament. Heston Jackson made 91 runs as M&N Hardware scored 214 for 8 in just 15 overs. Hubbard Sports Club were restricted to 75 as Daniel Johnson, with a devastating spell, took 3 wickets for 2 runs in 2 overs. Clark's squad champions were victorious in Game 2, scoring 117 for 8 in 15 overs. They then limited opponents' Airport combined to 112 all out. In the final match on Monday, Adrian Gabriel Construction won by 20 runs after amassing 157 for 5 in their 15 overs. Leroy Rogers scored 52 runs for Adrian Gabriel before they restricted SLS Titans, or Sandals, for 137 runs for 9 wickets. Moving on to the St. Andrews Cricket League, GBN has some more results from matches played over the weekend. Conference defeated Tivoli Veterans, winning by 7 wickets. Tivoli Veterans, batting first, were bowled out for just 93 runs as our Hitlal captured 6 wickets for 28 runs. Conference cruised through in their run chase, reaching 95 for the loss of 3 wickets. Other results saw On the Block Pearls victorious over Strollers Moya, who bowled out for 71 in 17 overs. It resulted in an 8-wicket win for Underblock Pearls. Pearls Progressive also were triumphant, defeating Idlers B by 3 wickets, as Idlers B were restricted to 90 runs. Meanwhile, in more news from the St. Andrews Cricket League, teams are again competing in a limited 35-over format introduced last year. President of the St. Andrew Cricket League, Terry Hilaire, confirms that there are currently 36 teams registered, which are divided into 2 zones.
In the past, we had 3 and 4 divisions, but this year we have only 2 divisions. That's why we have 18 teams in a division. So throughout the parish, we will have cricket up to 18 matches, 18 villages going to be seeing cricket in St. Andrews every Sunday. And it is the format is same thing like last year with the 35 overs. The division is 2 divisions. Division 1 and Division 2.
Hilaire says 8 teams from each of the 2 divisions will enter a round of 16, which will end with a final.
And the first place will be getting $12,000. Second place, $6,000. Third place, $3,000.
He highlights that prize money for the zonal winners is yet to be confirmed.
No, we don't have no prizes for the zonal winners as yet. We still seeking sponsorships. So if that come into play, definitely we're going to have something for the zonal winners. And also, we are seeking some additional sponsorship from other companies. So we're asking companies to get involved, asking individuals to get involved in St. Andrews Cricket.
That takes us on to the ladies. Grenada's Taylor Dixon will lead the Windward Islands under-19 female team in the upcoming Cricket West Indies tournament later this year. The St. Mark's Secondary School student represented the Grenada national women's team in the recent Windward Island tournament. Dixon is joined by 3 other Grenadians, Teresa Thomas, Christy Blake and Brittany Pascal, for the under-19 tournament. The manager is Grenadian Lydia Edgar, with Clinton Burnett as coach. And in news from local football, several matches were contested over the weekend in the Nixon's Electrical National Masters Football Tournament. On Sunday, Crown City won 3-1 over Willis Masters. Police and St. David Masters ended in a 0-0 draw, while Just Brand St. Andrew defeated Real Old Men 2-0. Other results saw Grand Mall Generals victorious over St. Paul's 1-0, and Queen's Park Rangers delivering a 10-1 thrashing to veterans. Grenadian Rowan Charles continues his preparation for the Pan American Olympic qualifiers, and that's in Taekwondo. It'll be held from the 10th to the 13th of March in San Jose. Charles recently attended an Olympic training camp in Santo Domingo. Over the weekend, another set of matches were contested in the 2020 Margaret Dow Netball Tournament. On Saturday, Pink Panthers defeated Combined Stars 22-0, while Rainbow Girls lost 2-42 to Springs Jet Stars, and GM Super Strikers won 38-5 over Tempe United. The tournament, by the way, that continues on Thursday. The latest sporting highlights there for you. Of course, to stay with us. When we return, we will have for you a recap of tonight's major stories.
Now for a recap of the headlines. MNIB chairman says current shortage of sugar may continue for a while.
Right, we can tell you pretty last Sunday hotline launched.
Prime Minister attends CARICOM heads meeting in Barbados.
Plus in the sports news, M&N Hardware scores mammoth total in the GCIC Intersector Cricket Tournament. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight.
Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford.
I'm Ken Roy Batiste. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.